Welcome to a series called He Trains My Hands for War, where we're going through the book of Joshua, verse by verse, to get a full understanding of not only what does it mean to be in the army of the living God, but to follow his direct orders and what that looks like when the world is telling you to go one direction and God tells you to go another. What does that look like successfully? And as we've gone through this book, what we've seen is that these Israelites were the strongest Israelites as far as being in the army of the living God, following his every direction, finding success through everything that they do. That all of that is part of just following what it is God's direction is for you, not only in times of war, but in your life. And Joshua and these Israelites understood that fully. And I'm also encouraging you as we go through this book to prepare for a time of tribulation. That's why I'm going through this book, because I know based off the prophecy that there will be a time of tribulation and that there will be a war of the saints, and that those of us engaged in that war will have tremendous success for 3.5 years. But we have to follow his instructions, and we have to be within the righteousness of God. So we're just going to pick it up where we left off. Joshua just told them to prepare to cross and to sanctify themselves. Then Joshua spoke to the priests, saying, "Take up the ark of the covenant and cross over before the people." So they took up the ark of the covenant and went before the people. And the Lord said to Joshua, "This day I will begin to magnify you in the sight of all Israel, that they may know that as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. You shall command the priests who bear the ark of the covenant, saying, when you have come to the edge of the water of the Jordan, you shall stand in the Jordan." So Joshua said to the children of Israel, "Come here and hear the words of the Lord your God." And Joshua said, "By this you shall know that the living God is among you." Now I'm going to pause there because there's a lot we should be getting out of what just took place. Ultimately, God said to do something that was going to be supernatural. And then Joshua said, by this you shall know that I am among you. And this relationship that we have with God in a time of tribulation is extremely important, because there are many moments in our lives, the closer you get to God and the closer you are on his will and the closer you are to his path that he has for you in his life, he's going to ask you to do some strange things that won't make sense. And when you do those things confidently, like, well, the world is telling me this other thing. You know, what do you mean? Like, just walk into a river and you're going to dry it up when it's gushing to the banks? But Joshua knows, and the Israelites know, by this you shall know that I am God. By this you shall know that I am among you. By this you shall know that I will deliver you. And it's these things that God shows us to remind us of who he is. It's really incredible. And we have to begin. You know, I'll go back to, the things that I've been saying since we started this series. Prepare. Don't act foolish and think that you can sit in a recliner and just do nothing. And then all of a sudden you're ready to be in the army of the living God. You have to prepare. You have to prepare by having not only deep understanding of what God's plan is, but you have to understand prophecy. And that's what these Israelites had, is they saw prophecy. They believed it to be true. And then they walked straight into it, confidently knowing it was true. And this is what we have to do as Christians to prepare for tribulation. By this you shall know that I am among you. You know, there's prophecy about these end times that literally the earth will swallow up the enemy. This Antichrist and this world army is so threatening. But yet, we sustained for 3.5 years whooping them. And what that must be like to stand there and see the world army coming at you. And God says, just stand strong. Don't move. Watch me be God. And by this you shall know that I am among you. And then the earth just swallows that army. The earth eats it, is what the Bible says. And just to stand there and know that that's going to happen for 3.5 years, time anybody tries to get near you, it's important that we confidently know this, because other things we'll have to do is confidently prophesy for 3.5 years. Confidently be prophesying for 3.5 years. When the world is saying, if you prophesy, we're going to cut off your head. But it's these things, it's by this we know that God is among us. They have the confidence, and we have to have that confidence. You know, and we'll talk next time about how this river dried up. But it is this confidence that is so incredibly important that we have to fully grasp. Then God will show us that he'll perform miracles in front of us. Sorry, I'm the slippery little slope here. Across that creek here. He'll perform miracles among us. And it's by this that we'll know that he is God. And it is by this that we'll know that he is among us. But we have to get our mind there first. The Israelites, their mind was there first. I think this episode really is just an imploring call, trumpet blast, so to say. Prepare your minds, prepare your bodies, prepare your spirit for this thing that God is going to do. So I hope this video helps. Any thoughts or insight on any of that, definitely put it below. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. Feel called to support this channel on Patreon, that link is below. But the most important part of this channel, we take prayer requests, so please don't ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, love guns.